Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Atari Twilight 88, where we are back in the past of the past. Yeah, that's really all I'm gonna say. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. If you want to be a part of the conversation and a part of the community, join us in the Discord. And as always, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Greg gets to do what the hell he wants to us. But two is every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces you see here before you. That being said, Greg, take us back to the 60s.
Absolutely, my friend, absolutely. And as we go back to 1969, we have just a few brief things that we have to go over. We are currently in the summer of 1969, just a few days away from Woodstock. But more importantly, we are in the Garrett of 1969. And so with that, our kids have been able to figure out a couple things. They've met earlier and younger versions of some of their more colorful NPCs. Miss Maggie, who was preparing to go to Woodstock to take a caravan north to Yasgur's farm. And we also briefly met Shannon's father, who was taking a motorcycle ahead to make sure that the caravan would have places to park along the way. But most importantly, we met Eugene Butts, father of George, and really, for the most part of this entire series, the villain. He didn't act like a villain in 1969, though. In fact, he seemed to be more like them than unlike the kids. And so at the very end of the episode, after they had approached him in what would become the Paperback Exchange, a place now called the American Leaders of Tomorrow Association, or ALTA, they were gifted with knowledge of someone that was of the same mindset as they were, and someone that readily believed their story of time travel, of strange occurrences, as if that person had experienced it before. And so at the end of our sequence with the kids, Eugene informed his son that if anything should ever happen in the future, if he should forget himself or be taken over or taken from his son, if he was still in there, he would let his son know by repeating a phrase. And he revealed that that phrase would be, "Are you practicing your marbles?" And with that, as we drug out of Alta, Future Paperback Exchange, we went north and saw Sean Locke driving his motorcycle towards Woodstock. It was there that we, the viewers, saw the approach of two cyclists. And as these riders came south, passing Sean Locke, it was revealed to be the entity believed to be Randall Flagg and Rick Rugen, now Officer Rick Rugen, but eventually Chief Rugen. And as these two riders headed south, the wind began to howl. But we're back in the Paperback Exchange, or excuse me, Alta. And with the revolution or revelation, we cut not to the Buttses, Eugene and George. We cut not to the table where we have Jerry and Ben and Mitch sitting there along with Rob. We cut to the back where eventually would be the realm of Miss Maggie that smells strongly of 1969 at all times. And Shannon, you snuck back here, presumably, and under the illusion, perhaps, of needing to use the restroom. Why are you back here? But before you say anything, I would like to, as we always do, we have to start this show, whether it's in the 80s or the 90s or 60s, with music. And this music selection to start us off is the third selection of tonight's Spotify playlist. Atari Twilight, Season 2, Episode 7, Back to the Future. The song will be Suspicious Minds by the King, Elvis Presley. Shannon?
Well, initially, Shannon retreated away because she is highly uncomfortable with the situation that is happening right now. Most of the kids probably don't notice, maybe Ben a little bit because of what happened before, but Shannon is having a hard time holding it together in front of George's dad. And she's removed herself from a situation because she's not sure how she should react and whether or not to even trust what's going to be happening. simultaneously she wants to kind of poke around and see what's in the area, and just
Absolutely.
see what's there, if there's anything suspicious or different that she remembers versus the paper bag exchange.
Right. And the entire place is different. I mean, its layout is sort of the same, but you don't have any of the shelving inside. It's wide open, a wide open space with just long tables that are set up, but you're in the back now. And this seems to be a little bit the same. You remember Miss Maggie's desk and table and things like that. But whereas there was a more organic vibe to Miss Maggie's, Sancta Sanctorum, this has a more office feel to it. Metal desk, metal file cabinet, metal table and chair. But roll me an investigate, please, and start us off.
You got it. No successes.
You look around and it's tough because it's not that there's too much to look at. There's really kind of too little to look at. It's very Spartan. There isn't, everything seems incredibly neat. There is a desk blotter that has a calendar on it, but nothing written on the calendar. It's just perfect, as if nothing has ever been written on it. There's a small tin full of pens and pencils. Perfect. It looks like they have never been touched. I mean, I will allow you to push this or use luck if you want. You don't have any luck. If you like to push it, you can.
Is this Spartan in the same way that her father's desk was in his office?
Very similar.
Okay. Interesting.
If you can't dance to Suspicious Minds, you're not my friend.
All right. Is there any other rooms or doors kind of as an offshoot to this back area?
Other than the office, there is a small bathroom.
Okay. I guess she'll just kind of peek in to see if it's what it's expected to be.
Sure. Roll me another investigate as you switch rooms.
Okay. 1 success.
Just as you go into this room, you kind of close the door as you're like looking in. You kind of swing it wider to get into the room. And as you do so, it reveals what looks to be a group picture of the founding members of Alta.
Oh.
There are 10 individuals in the picture.
Do I recognize any of them?
Absolutely. You recognize Miss Maggie. You recognize, as you're looking down there, you can see Eugene Butts. There's a couple people that you do not recognize, though. If you roll me a contact, I will allow Shannon's mind to start placing these younger versions of people she's likely either seen or met in the future.
I can. Is it like a framed picture or is it like just?
It's small. It's about, just like
Could I just take it off of the wall and pop the back out and see if anybody's written names on the back?
Absolutely. As you do so, roll me a tinker.
Okay. Nope.
As you pull it out, the frame kind of tilts a little bit on itself, and it's one of those moments where you kind of like the picture breaks apart on you.
Yeah.
You can grab the glass and grab like the back of it and everything. You keep it from crashing, but it's kind of apart for a moment.
Okay.
As you look, you see that printed in different handwriting along the back, it says 1966, Alta founding. It says founding fathers, and then it's added in mothers as well behind that. It says Anne Blake, Dean Blake, Dr. Holter, Sean Locke, Patrick John Mitchell, Maggie, Eugene Butts, Gina, and I'll ask George this. What would Gina's maiden name be?
Meyer.
It's Gina Meyer.
Yeah.
It also says Carl Baker and Melanie McKenzie.
So Shannon immediately remembers from the tapes a Dr. Holter. So she tries to figure out which one he is in the image.
You're able to do so now that you kind of have a reference for this. And it's the oldest person there. You would guess by the look of the person that maybe mid-30s. Definitely looks older than everybody else that's there. He has a presence. He's smiling in the picture, but he seems to be kind of in the back and middle of this kind of road and almost like posed picture.
Would it be possible, like, would Shannon recognize him considering that her dad worked with him at some point, or maybe he was by the house at some point or anything like that?
Roll me a contact.
Okay. 1 success.
There's something about him that is familiar, and it's not the passage of time that is kind of camouflaging you. It's, you believe it's some type of remembrance. It's some type of event that occurred perhaps when you were very little, and it's just, you think you know him from your youth, like sub 4, but you just can't place exactly how you know him.
Okay. She's gonna take the image and put it into her vest pocket, the picture, and just put it in there. And I guess do one more once over. And if there's nothing that really else stands out, like no pictures or papers or anything like that, really, she'll probably exit.
Okay. I will allow you to roll one more investigate here if you would like. If you
1 success.
Just as you're getting ready to kind of leave the area, you notice that it seems as if a file tab, they used to be used as part of kind of binder file hangers. They'd be like little plastic inserts, pulled free. And of all the Spartan things in this office, this one thing seems to have escaped whoever the proprietor of this, or the main person of this place, Eugene, if that's to be believed. And it seems to have slipped just behind the metal file cabinet, kind of hidden by that door that was half open, half closed.
She'll reach for it and try to get it up the floor.
It says, Dr. Holter Arkaville.
And is there something inside of this file, or is it just the tab?
Just the tab.
She takes that with her pocket. And then slowly, I think she's like gonna listen at the door to see if like there's stuff happening before she walks back out.
Okay, so as soon as, if our camera is covering everything here, the camera goes down, and as Shannon kind of puts her head against the door, our camera goes back through the door and out into the Alta building proper. And as we get out there, it continues past Rob and Jerry, Ben and George, and focuses on Mitch, and then kind of pans down to see what exactly Mitch is doing. And Mike, what is Mitch doing right now?
Nothing, Greg. Mind your business. He had borrowed a pen.
Good night,
everybody. He had borrowed a pen from Mr. Butts, and he was scribbling something inside the bag that he had taken from Shannon. And on one of the tapes, because they're all identical and they're all labeled Shannon, he has scribbled, and I lost my notes. He has scribbled Rugen and then crossed it out, and then protect Mackenzie, protect Sarge, in hasty 13-year-old boy handwriting, and has shoved that back in the bag and sort of just put the pen down. And he's kind of holding the bag like under the table, between his legs, waiting for an opportunity to kind of stash it somewhere.
Okay. And at this moment, this is when, as you're kind of finishing up that activity, this is when Eugene reveals that if in the future he needs to contact via, or has forgotten, if he's trying to reach out, he will say, "Are you practicing your marbles?" And that's the weight that's hanging in the air right now, as Shannon's listening against the door and as you finish writing on the cassettes.
Where is Eugene in relation to us?
If you're thinking about like a long kind of card table, he would be at one end, and you're all scattered around. And you said you were putting yourself as far away from him as you could.
Yeah.
So you'd be like the other head.
And where is that, the table with the marbles on it?
Back in like the far left-hand corner. It's got one little kind of globe light giving a little bit of light, but it's the only thing that's not a card table in this part of the building.
Mitch is going to, at what he believes as stealthily as possible, walk over there with the bag of tapes to put the pen away,
Okay.
but also leave the bag of tapes behind that table.
Roll a sneak for me, please.
Absolutely. Apparently, I am a ninja. 2 successes on a sneak roll.
Sure. And narratively, it's not like you get up, no one notices you leave the table. Because of the weight of the moment, you use that to your advantage. And as Mitch kind of sneaks over, you're able to place the tapes wherever you would like. As you kind of lean over the desk to put the pen away, you can, and nobody in the room at least notices what you've done.
Yeah, if there's any kind of like inside of the desk or underneath of the desk that can't be seen, that's where he stashes the tapes.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to, like, there's that one long drawer at the bottom right
Yeah.
of the desk. You're able to kind of push that open quietly, drop them in, and
Yep, and then he places the pen down and just casually returns back to his seat and just sits quietly.
this all occurs. And as this is happening, and as the weight of the moment that has been delivered by Eugene, George, Jerry, Rob, what are you doing?
I think George is busy crying and hugging his dad.
Ben would lean over to Rob and Jerry and be like, he says that all the time.
Yeah.
That means he's still in there.
And Ben just starts shaking his head like he can't.
So what do we do now? He like starts looking at Rob and Jerry and Ben.
We gotta find the rest of them.
And the rest of who? Of what?
We gotta find Ben's mom.
Yeah.
I don't even know why we're back here yet, though.
No, but this is an opportunity.
I mean, Eugene. Yeah, Eugene's still present. Are you guys trying to talk in confidence, or
Oh, right, yeah.
are Eugene's like right here? I mean, I want you to know that narratively, this sounds like a kind of like a kid powwow, and I don't want to, like, you know. And by the way, Eugene's there, you know, so you're aware that he's literally right beside George.
So I think George was definitely caught up in the moment. I think at this point he's like, Dad, we need a second, and he's like starts pulling them away.
Okay. So go right ahead then. If you're
So, yeah,
he
pull back to the edge of the table.
Yeah, he moves away as well to give you your privacy. And Shannon, you can come out at this time as you would enter and see kind of the rest of the kids kind of huddling up.
Yeah, she walks out. She doesn't say anything though.
What happened to Ben's mom wasn't fucking fair. And maybe this is a chance to fix it, you know?
Yeah, but guys, did you not see Back to the Future? Like, just what we just did could just mess up everything. What if what we just did by telling him that this is possible is what makes him start to do the stuff with the loop and then go back in time or back into other places, and we just set off what makes everything happen? If we talk to more people's parents, like, who knows? It could be way worse.
It's already done. If we're
It's a
good,
self-fulfilling prophecy then.
Plus, did you not see the movie? He kind of fixed his father's life and created a better life for him. We could do that with you, and he points to Ben.
Yeah, but
Nobody
did you
deserves
see
what you went through.
Yeah.
Way
I'm
worse,
willing-
like how? Like the
Mitch,
world
it
is
can
gonna
get
get
worse?
blown up with a nuke.
Well, if
we
they don't
need
have,
to punch our biff.
can we think about it a different way for a second? If George's dad never becomes what he does, then he doesn't kill a bunch of people. And maybe this is what stops him from doing that and maybe changes things for the better.
I mean, it's kind of too late now. We already spilled the beans on.
Well, sure, but like
What's his
maybe
dad
we
think?
can just look at it in a non-shitty way for a minute. Because I really would like for my dad to not be dead right now.
What if we just mess up the whole timeline worse, and it comes full circle and is good again?
We
It's
got to
like in math
try.
class, 2 wrongs make a right.
Double negatives, exactly. See, Jerry gets it, guys.
We won't know until we get back, if we even get back. So what are we gonna do?
It has to be something small.
What do you mean small?
Like we can't just tell everyone everything, right? Like it has. If you're gonna change something, it has to be something very small.
We already know that George's dad is going to have a huge impact on whatever happens at the loop. We already know that something happens to him in the future where somebody does something that changes him.
Right.
So, okay. Remember in the tapes, there was reference to this doctor that our dads worked with?
Yeah.
Dr. Holter?
Yeah.
Well, I found a picture of the founding members of this Ulta thing. And I have it with me. I don't want to, be weird with your dad and be like, I'm stealing this photo. But
Yeah, no. He doesn't need to know about that.
yeah. So I kept it. I have it. I think we should look for this doctor. I think so. He was the first one that started acting strange, right? From the tapes. So maybe we can figure out what it is or what he has to do with all of this. Because if he was the first one that was taken or changed or somehow, I don't know, then I don't know. Maybe we'll get some answers that way. At the very least, there's something missing because I found a file tab with his name on it too, but there was no file.
Was he acting strange?
That's what my dad said something changed in him, or he didn't want them to go after Pat or something like that.
He didn't want them to go after Pat.
Yeah.
But if he's a doctor, that might just be because it was dangerous.
Or maybe he was part of a series of events that led to Pat and then Eugene subsequently getting,
okay,
body swapped or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just
he
trying
never
to
really
think
told
of
us exactly what
options.
happened in those tapes, so I guess that's what we'll kind of have to go with, right?
Well, we can watch them.
On what?
I'm sure that there's like a TV or something we can borrow from his
It's the
dad
60s.
here.
They don't have
It's
VHS
1969.
Oh crap! You're right. Shit. Okay. Well, that's not super.
Even I knew that.
I wasn't thinking about it.
yet.
Okay.
Even Jerry knew that.
Got other things on my mind.
Yeah, even Jerry did that. Okay, so how do we find this Holter? Do you know where he is?
I figure we could just ask his dad a little bit more about Ulta. Be like, tell us about the people who started it, Something.
Is that picture small?
Yeah.
Can we see it?
Yeah, probably. She unzips her pocket and like kind of opens it and unfolds it and shows the image to them in their little huddle.
Okay.
Yeah, and very similar to like the Goonies shot where the gems are pulled out at the end. Everybody, ooh.
Okay, that's my dad. That's Ben's mom.
That's my mom, yeah.
Obviously, that's Butts. I don't know who this lady is.
I think that's something Blake. The names are on the back.
Oh. These.
And that guy in the middle, that's Holter.
Okay.
He's really old looking. I'm just saying.
Jerry, you would also see a much younger Carl Baker.
My dad's there too.
Yeah,
but
Maggie.
I don't.
Maggie
know
said
anything about that.
Maggie said that. Okay. Okay. And Blake. That's not Ann Harris then, or Anna Harris.
No, I think it's the same lady that's from that store. She said her name was Mrs. Blake.
Like hippies.
The one that didn't like hippies.
How'd she get from Ulta to not liking hippies?
Greg, does 1988 us know of an Anna and Dean Blake?
Anybody would like to? I'm going to let you all do this if you want. You can roll me a contact. I will let you know this though, that the Mrs. Blake that you saw in the consignment shop is much older than this picture would indicate.
That makes sense. Jesus, Jerry.
Jerry's got contacts.
Yeah,
Jerry,
a lot
here's
of this stuff from consignment shops, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Not only because of 3 successes that you received here, not only can you identify everybody in this picture, perhaps it's because of the newspaper route that you and Ben have. A lot of these people are older, but you know them. And when you hear the names, you're able to kind of put them together. You would be able to identify that is Anne and Dean Blake. Dean Blake is a firefighter in Garrett in 1988. Anne is the owner of the Night Owl consignment shop. You remember all of that. You remember even that they have 2 kids. One of them's a football player in high school. He's the quarterback of the team that you're on. And, you know, the rest of everybody, you know, you can see Mitch's dad, you can see everybody else and kind of picture and point them out, including your father as you go back and forth. But here's the thing with 3 successes, there's something about being able to identify all of these people. And maybe it's just seeing your father in a state that's very foreign to you, happy, smiling, young. You may heal a condition.
Oh, that's going to be not useful. Jerry will relay all the information he has to everybody else. And we've got Ben's mom's address, her new address, like her old this address. We can go there. We can start there.
Yeah, we should start with my mom.
But what? What are we going to tell her?
I'm going to tell her to move away. I'm going to tell her not to live in Garrett.
Yeah, but then if she moves away, then we never meet you.
Mitch,
But-
you got to not think about yourself right now.
Or you're
And
never
if he's-
born. And then if he's never here, we never got the information about all the other stuff. And what if we didn't stop it in 1988 or 1987? Because originally the loop message said 1987. It only says 1988 because we did something in 1987. And if he's not here...
Yeah, Mitch, but what if my dad comes back and he's not so sad and he doesn't kill himself? And Ben walks off and starts rubbing his eyes.
Jesus Christ, Mitch, you can't learn to shut up, can you?
What if we make it worse? What
It
if we
can't
cause
get
the
any
end of the
worse for
world?
us.
Or we could all be dead.
Yeah, that happens anyway.
We could
The
all
end
be
of the
dead.
Shannon
world's
goes
already
after
Do
Ben.
come.
nothing.
I-
That's basically what you're suggesting, is we do nothing.
I'm
Some of us need some
suggesting
fucking help, dude.
I'm suggesting not messing up the timeline more than we already have.
It doesn't matter anymore. That timeline is fucked. What do you mean don't mess it up? It's already messed up. We have to do something that's going to change it.
How does changing it now change it in the future? We don't know that that's true. It could make it worse. It can just as easily make it worse.
Exactly. So we're just going to let it, we're just going to piss away our little bit of time here until we figure out what's going on and then do nothing and then it doesn't change at all.
I don't know.
Everybody roll and investigate, please.
Wow.
We all used our rolls.
Fuck.
We're angry.
Hey, I got one.
Hey, there we go.
Rob, as this heated exchange is kind of escalating between members of the group, you see as Ben moves over to the kind of the far corner where the big window would eventually be in the paperback exchange, you see Mr. Butts. He grabs kind of a handkerchief that he has in his back pocket. You see him move up and he's like kind of comforting Ben as much as he can. You see that he kind of kneels down and he's talking to him and Ben's nodding, but you can't hear what's being said.
Now, how old is Eugene Butts at this point? I mean, he's not our
Yeah.
age, right?
No, Eugene is in his early 20s. He's like 23, 4, but Eugene looks like he's almost 40. He's just one of those people that hits a certain age and stays there for like 30, 40 years. He looks
Is
like
Shannon
somebody's
close
dad
enough
already.
to hear? So she went after Ben?
You didn't notice that
Okay.
there was, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you went after Ben, you can roll as you see this kind of occurring as you get.
Oh, I
closer.
already Well, I failed my first investigation check.
Okay, yeah,
so-
you're coming up and you see it happening, but
Okay.
you don't hear what was being said. It's a brief exchange.
Rob's gonna kind of make his way over to Ben. While they're hashing out, do we or do we not destroy timelines? To kind of see if he can make out what was being said, or make sure that he's not trying to implant something in Ben.
When you get closer, you hear that Mr. Butts is kind of finishing a thought, it sounds like, and you hear him say, she's usually over at Herb Seville's house. Sarge, they're friends. He's back now from Vietnam, but he's been hurt. But he helps her. Her husband's over there. And you see Ben nodding, and he stops. And as you both approach, Shannon and Rob, he says, "I'm not him. Your father's son. Your father's over in Vietnam." And Ben just nods, continues to kind of palm his eyes. The two of you walk up.
Hey, Ben.
Hey.
How are you doing, man?
I'm all right, man.
Do you know what the plan is?
Yeah, man, I have to try to save my mom.
Yeah,
I would do exactly the same thing as you for my dad.
We're gonna save your dad too, and Mitch's dad. We gotta save everybody. Gotta save Sarge. That's why we're here.
We're here to fix things.
Yeah.
That has to be why, right?
Roll and empathize, Shannon.
It's not a thing.
You don't see it coming, but Ben just turns around and throws his arms around you and like buries his head like underneath your jaw, and you can just hear him start to cry. It's like he just can't. He tried to hold it, but he can't hold it back.
Yeah, she hugs him.
You may heal one condition.
Oh, okay. Get rid of injured for now. Till I go back outside again, I guess.
Right. Eugene turns, and even the other group at the table could hear as he says, "Is there anything I can do to help you all?"
Hey, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation about Sarge that he was having with Ben, how loud was that? Would we have heard the Sarge bits?
Yeah, we could say that you heard it. Yeah.
I think like Mitch perks up and says, "Hey, Mr. Butts, did Sarge ever work here? Did he ever come here?"
We're all friends with Sarge, but no, he's never been a member. I think he's been in here, but he's not a member.
He doesn't ever work with the Loop at all, does he? Do you know of?
He's a career man. And you know he means the military.
Mitch kind of slinks back down to the remaining two people at the table. He says, "Yeah, but Sarge knew. He knew they were robots. At the Chattanooga, he knew they were robots, and he had a gun. So Sarge knows what's up.
Maybe we need to talk to him.
Maybe we can talk to him, and we can talk to him, and maybe that messes the timeline up the least."
What if it's not enough? We can't jump back again, can we?
Maybe. There's a
Is that a
building.
bet we want to take, though?
There's a building that the Loop has that I think they might be working on it now.
It's been destroyed.
No, it's been destroyed in our time.
Yeah.
Not in their time.
That helps us get out now.
Yeah.
If we do that. But what if we need to come back because we didn't do enough? I think we need to almost go nuclear.
But I'm pretty sure your dad rebuilt the lab underground.
Then why isn't he back right now? Why isn't he here right now?
He like looks over to him and then leans closer in to Jordan and says, "They were trying to save my dad." And he like nods over at Shannon. Her dad and your dad were trying to save my dad. He got stuck somewhere. I don't know where. And then her dad said that something happened to your dad and he started acting weird. I think all the opening and closing of portals is what made him Megatron.
Right.
Her dad said that like if we can go to other places, other people can come here. And I think one of them like infected your dad.
Again, if my dad was rebuilt that time machine
Yeah.
in our present in 1988, why didn't he stop us? Why isn't he busting the door down right now?
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't think it's repaired yet. What if we use it and break the time, whatever, the dive machine, whatever we want to call it, on our way back? Would that stop all the teleportations? Is that enough?
I don't know. I don't know what it does. I mean, we teleported without anything, so who knows?
Somebody's got to know. Maybe we do need to talk to that Dr. Holter.
He worked there.
Yeah, he was in charge of my dad, your dad, and Shannon's dad.
At that place, though. So maybe he's there now.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing. We're just going roundabout ways.
Let's go talk to Sarge, and maybe we can get a ride. It's miles away, and we have no way to get there.
Yeah, but what are we gonna say? Hey, Sarge, we're just some young scrappy boys looking to go to the loop.
It worked with Maggie.
Yeah, but that's Maggie.
Yeah, but that's
Sarge is a
Sarge.
hard ass.
And he had the whole thing with a gun.
Yeah,
and he never
because
worked for the
hard
loop.
asses do. That's what badasses do.
Well, maybe
they get guns and they shoot robots, man. That's what badasses do.
Well, maybe that's what we need.
Or we steal his wife's car.
Okay. I mean, Shannon can drive.
And you know how to steal things. You're like a criminal, right?
But hang on.
That's not necessary.
Sarge said don't let her drive.
That's why, if we steal it, she can't drive.
Maybe it's Shannon. I can probably drive it.
I have to take a step back. As a player, I think I just metagamed that a little bit.
That's all right.
I could have swore that was public knowledge, but now I'm thinking about like, oh shit, I think that was just an obituary that somebody just happened to find.
Yeah.
Shit.
It was. It's all good. Yeah, I can
that's.
drive.
I mean, you did hear "Don't let her drive." That
yeah
reference is still active. Yeah, absolutely.
I could drive it. Pretty sure.
I mean, I'm not worried about who's driving it. I mean, well, yes, I am. That's not true. I am worried about that. But yeah, we got to do something.
Without the need for a roll, Eugene Butts goes over to one of the tables, and you see him go to his desk, and he pulls out a big, almost like a cartographer's roll or an artist's roll of like white paper. He pulls out the entire kind of spool, takes it over, and rolls it out on one of the long tables and begins to write on it.
What's your dad doing?
Science stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Do we have a plan?
Either asking for a ride or stealing a ride, yeah.
Hey! He like waves over at Ben, Rob, and Shannon. Hey!
It's loud enough to hear.
Shannon kind of ignores whatever's going on, and she's continuing to comfort Ben.
Ben will pull away at some point, and he doesn't look at you. He kind of looks down, kind of ashamed, and just says, "Thank you."
You bet. What do you want to do?
Psst.
Oh my God. Shall we go find out what impatient Mitch wants first?
Outside of the octagon window, you see somebody walk by and go, "Psst."
Fucking Jeff.
Yeah, Ben nods.
What's up, Mitch?
I think we have a plan. We talked it over.
Okay.
Okay, so Sarge knew stuff was happening, and he didn't work here, and he didn't work at the Loop. So how did he know? Maybe if we came back here before, we talked to him, and that's how he knew. So
Or maybe
Sarge is the safe person we can talk to, and we should go talk to Sarge, and also borrow a ride or steal his car and go to Castle Grayskull.
Okay, or maybe Sarge is a war veteran and he knew something was wrong and defended children like a normal person would.
No normal person just carries a machine gun to a diner.
I mean,
a war veteran, a
it's
badass would, Mitch.
Sarge.
A badass would. I'm just
We're
saying.
in Maryland. He's
Yeah.
not Rambo.
It's Sarge.
I've never seen him carry a machine gun before, and they're pretty hard to hide.
Probably
Did you see the
has it
size
in
of
his
it?
car.
You could hide in a jacket. It was small enough.
I'm pretty
In a
sure
ja-
that's
I don't know about a
illegal.
jacket.
It was a
Okay.
grease gun. So
Regardless, Ben, what do you want to do?
I mean, I want to go tell my mom. At this point, Eugene Butts looks up, and he looks initially at George, but then kind of casts his gaze over all of you. And you can see that like he has like licked his pen, and there's ink like on the corner of his lip as he says, "Yeah, anyone is the library still on Main Street? When you're kids, is it still there?" You all would know that it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. He starts writing.
Why?
He's trying to remember what's the differences.
He puts his finger down where he's writing, and he says, if what I believe is correct, I'll start to forget. The magnetrine in the particle accelerator will make me forget what's going on, but I can't leave myself notes that I don't understand. So I'm going to leave myself a puzzle. And I'm curious by nature, and if I see something I don't know the answer to, I'll try to solve it. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to solve it, and it'll, I don't know, remind me of what's going on. And any information I'll get, I'll leave it for you all. And he looks at George. Yeah, I'll leave a clue for you. It'll be strange. I usually just use binary and a word cipher for it, and you should be able to figure it out.
Where would you leave it?
Where would I leave it?
Here, what?
Is that the puzzle? That's the puzzle.
Light bulb just went over Mike's head.
Yeah. You said, why? Okay. So he kind of commits that to memory.
But you don't know binary.
It's not necessarily binary. It's a binary cipher. Given the clue that I will provide, you should be able to extrapolate any number of combinations of word, phrase, or sentence, depending upon how long it is.
Mitch just keeps looking back at Butts. Did you get any of that?
Yeah. No, my dad taught me that a long time ago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't use a Nintendo, but no, it's binary cipher. Okay.
Can't versus won't. At least I don't break them.
I didn't break it. It doesn't matter. Okay, but I thought we had a plan, and now we don't have a plan. What's the plan then?
What it's been all along. We save as many people as we can. We warn them.
I think
We should start with Sarge.
I think we should start with Ben's mom. And then go to Sarge.
She might be
agree.
there.
Mr. Butt said that my mom's at Sarge's a lot. That was what he was telling me.
Before. Over there?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess let's hope that she's where Sarge is. And then we can achieve both of our goals.
Do it.
So we got to find Sarge.
Yeah, I guess so.
Any idea where to start?
His house?
I think he's
Didn't
lived in
he-
the
yeah.
same place my whole life.
Okay.
It's just right. It's just like 3 blocks away towards the mall.
Okay. Then let's go there. Unless, George, you want to stay here and get any more information from your dad?
No, the last thing we need to do is split that much in a different time. I think we need to stick as close together as we can. As much as I want more time with my real dad. We have a mission, right? So we'll stick to that.
So you're planning to go as Eugene Butts continues to write, and as you kind of stand up and get ready, you see him again put his finger down to the list of stuff that he's kind of writing along this ream of paper. Are you leaving?
Yeah, we're here to do something, right? So we have to take care of that and do what we can to get back to our time.
If you need me, I'll stay here. I'll be here. I'll stay here for a week. I'll sleep here. If you need me, just come here.
We'll find a way to let you know that we're safe and that we're good. Maybe it's a flare, maybe it's a tag somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but we'll let you know somehow.
If I don't see you, I'm sorry if I do anything or I let you down. I'll try not to.
Same. And he goes to hug his dad.
Yeah, he hugs you right back.
Yep.
And he whispers into your ear, I'll leave a clue. I'll try to help.
And he just has to walk away.
So you all exit Alta?
As we get up to leave, Mitch says, "Oh, hey, Mr. Butts, can I borrow that pen?"
Absolutely, Mitchell.
And he walks over to grab the pen and says, "Oh, there's something in your drawer," and takes the pen and walks back out of the building.
Okay. He continues to write at his table.
Okay,
He
so
heard you though.
how do we get to Sarge's house?
As soon as you get out onto the street, again, the sounds and smells and sights of 1969, Ben just points in the direction of what would be the turnoff to go up to the mall, which is like 2 blocks down on Main Street. In fact, if you look over on your maps on Roll20, I will ping exactly where you are. And let's see, you are currently here, wing, and the Sarge's house is here. If you can see that. There, here.
Okay.
As you are walking, you see the Main Street Library, which is right here on the corner. And I'd like everyone to roll and investigate. As you see, I mean, there's a lot more traffic here in downtown now because there isn't a mall, and there are people actively shopping as they walk along. And anyone with 1 success, which I believe is George and Mitch, and is that it?
And Rob.
Yeah, Rob, George, and Mitch. You're the first to hear the throaty roar of motorcycles. Mitch, because you have an intimate association with one of these motorcycles, you believe you recognize the glass-packed visage that used to be the preferred ride of Chief Rugen.
I think making that connection, Mitch just stops walking. Like he just stops in his tracks.
What? We
That's-
gotta go.
That sound.
Just keep moving.
That's
Different time.
We're already
Jer-
fucking it up anyway.
Yeah, Jerry, as soon as you hear that, you are taken back to that night, the night that Melanie McKenzie died in Tradewinds, where you were woken up in your house. And as you looked out the window, you saw one lone motorcycle heading back into the town of Garrett, presumably the very Chief Rugen fleeing the scene or creating an alibi, as he had just murdered Melanie McKenzie and almost killed Ben. It was that sound that woke you up. It is that sound you are hearing now. It is the same bike and presumably the same rider.
You're already trying to tell everyone's parents.
What's going on?
That's Rugen's bike.
Rugen, as in, oh,
Chief Rugen.
yes, I recall the night that I met with Jerry. Very well. Okay. Well, nope, never mind. You guys talk.
I don't think we need to be drawing attention to ourselves right now. We know he's here. That should be enough.
Jerry.
The sound is getting louder. It seems to be approaching your position. Everybody, too, in honor of the Keystones, please go down to the bottom of your playlist and you will find It's the End of the World as We Know It, but not by REM, by The Rescues. Go ahead and cue that one up for this particular moment.
George will actually whisper into Jerry's ear and say, I'm with you either way.
We should follow him.
Do you say that loud enough for people to hear?
Yeah.
What do you mean follow him?
I just
He's-
need to know. I need to see.
See what?
If it was him.
Him for what?
If Butts' dad isn't Butts' dad in the future. Was Rugen in the future? Or is this the same guy?
What are you going to do? You're going to go up to him and ask him if he's a murderer?
I just need to know.
Jerry, I get it. I get it, but how are you going to know? How are you going to be sure?
I'm gonna know.
Ben, where do you want to go?
The sound gets louder. You believe that it'll be on the street that you're walking along any second. Do you all do anything in anticipation?
Mitch asks where Ben wants to go.
Shannon's
Yeah.
looking for an alleyway.
Your best buddy in Tradewinds, and for years, looks up at you and his eyes are red. I gotta save her, Mitch. Will you help me? And he puts his hand out.
Mitch looks to Butts, Rob, and Shannon, and not at Jerry, and says, "Can you take Rob? Or can you take Ben?
Take him? What do you mean?
Take him where he needs to go."
To his mom.
Mhm.
That's where we all need to go, where Sarge and his mom are.
I'm going with Jerry.
I'm going with Jerry too.
What are you going to do if it's the Rugen that you think it is?
We'll figure it out when we get there. What
That
are you gonna-
man.
He'll get what's coming to him.
No, you are not a murderer. None of us No. I will not let you guys do that. You don't get to decide that.
What if this is what saves her?
You think killing somebody is going to be what saves anybody else? How is that
Don't
any
think about
better?
killing anybody.
You just said he's going to get what's coming. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that doesn't mean you kill somebody. That could mean you're beating them up. That could mean you're exacting some form of revenge.
That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to.
That's exactly.
No,
what we're
we
here
are
to do.
not
We're
here
to
for
get everything
revenge.
straightened out.
If I wanted revenge, I would have done something to your father to prevent any possibility of him doing anything to my dad.
Then you would have.
Don't be
become him
selfish.
yourself. You're the one being selfish. What are you talking about?
How am I being selfish by telling you
Because you're
not
not
to do
letting
something
Ben
stupid?
get what he deserves.
Ben doesn't want to kill somebody.
Nobody's talking about killing. Can you get off your high horse right now about this killing stuff? Nobody said that. Jerry, we're going to go kill him? No, we're going to go
I saw
see
what
and
Jerry was
confirm.
capable of. Go ahead and tell him, Jerry.
They know. And
Did you guys all forget about that?
Then you go where you need to go. I'm going with Jerry where he needs to go. If we're going to split, then we're going to split.
Get Ben to his parents. Shannon, they're just gonna follow him.
Yeah.
We got to stay together.
Mitch reaches in. Well, I guess it's on his hip now, and he pulls out his walkie-talkie and hands it to Ben, and says, "Just don't leave Sarge's house. We'll meet you there. It's just reconnaissance."
go warn your mom, Ben. She needs to know. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can save your dad too. Tell them everything.
You can see that Ben is fighting not to cry. I'm not going to trade you guys for them, though.
We'll meet you there, I promise.
There's no trade. We just need to know.
He reaches way up to Jerry and kind of grabs the material of your shoulder. Revenge is the dark side. You're a Jedi.
Maybe, man, but I gotta know.
He nods and steps back.
Come on, Ben. We gotta go.
George. He's gonna hug George. Be safe and meet us there. Okay?
We're just following.
Then he's gonna go to Jerry. Give him a hug. Be safe and meet us there, okay?
Promise.
And he's gonna look at Mitch and kind of give him one of those. Huh?
What is the hugging thing?
Huh? I need to note that you'll give it back.
Oh. And he like puts his hands up for the weirdest hug.
And
Shannon?
I'm gonna hug Mitch.
You do. You hug away, and it's a meaningful hug, and nothing happens.
Mitch is very uncomfortable and stiff the entire time.
Shannon is taking something out of her pocket and unclips something else and reaches up to Jerry and like implies that she's going to give him something and waits for his hand.
He reaches out.
She drops the bullet in his hand that's on a keychain. Don't do anything stupid.
If I do, you gotta come save me.
I'm not carrying your ass on my bike. It's not even here this time.
Fair enough.
Don't do anything stupid. And she looks to George and Mitch, not more than usual. And don't put yourselves in a position where he can hurt you, because he will.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Okay.
We have to get out of this time so we can fix everything else.
Okay. Get us a ride. We need to get to Grayskull.
I'll take care of it.
We'll meet you at Sarge's house.
Don't take long.
Just as you all split, it's Rob and Shannon and Ben, and then Mitch and Jerry and George, correct?
Correct.
So as if we have a camera, as we do, because we are the viewers of this story, as the camera sits there, and you might as well just go ahead and put "It's the End of the World" on repeat for right now. As it's right between the two groups, they split and pull apart, and just as they break, two motorcycles roar around the corner onto Main Street, having stopped at the light at the intersection. And as they roll around the corner, the first group to see them, everybody sees without the need for a roll. But just for added detail, I would like Mitch and Jerry and George to roll investigate. Okay, so Mitch, let's see who. Mitch and okay, Mitch, you're able to see as the bikes come around. Everybody's able to see and kind of hide or blend into the crowd or duck into an alley if you'd like. But Jerry, it's you as you stop and look, and you realize that while there are two bikes, there are three riders, and you see your father riding behind Rick Rugen. And they, as they pass in front, and Jerry, as you're standing there, your father turns and looks, and he's young, strong. The bottle hasn't broken him down as much as you know him. And for a moment, your eyes meet. And then he's gone. Unless
Jerry
you do something.
just watches real slow as they drive by. And then he turns back to the others. Let's go.
And then
Moves to tail him.
running montage.
So as those three split and move off, we'll stick with you all. You're able to keep pace because there's not really, with the traffic that's in Garrett right now, foot traffic and vehicular traffic that you would never expect coming from your time. You see that they pull around the corner and eventually pull in front of the police station. And you see Rugen sling his bike around, kickstand out, set his bike at rest. The rider with the black hair and the black clothing does likewise. Carl Baker swings off the back of the Harley. They all stand there, and Baker and Rugen light cigarettes. They seem to be in conference.
Who are those
enjoying
two?
the day.
That's my dad.
Is your dad a cop?
No.
Is your dad a cop?
No. I don't know what he's doing with them. I don't even know my dad.
He was riding on in the back like a girl.
You could say it, Mitch. He's riding. No, don't say it.
Who's the other guy?
I don't know. I thought maybe you guys might know.
I don't know that guy. Okay, so we know he's probably a cop right now, right? Because no one just parks at the police station. That's kind of weird. Do we just wait?
I don't know. He's not going to do anything weird there, but just follow my lead.
Oh, God. Okay. I think Mitch's voice cracks. It might be puberty. It might be slight fear of Jerry.
It's not puberty.
From this distance, I will ask everybody in this group, George, Rob, and Jerry, or George, Mitch, and Jerry, roll me and empathize, please.
I got none of that.
Nope.
Nope, we're apathetic.
You see that they're all talking outside of the police station. They're not going inside, though. But body language is lost. The traffic and foot traffic is thick even here. People coming from the Freedom Festival. Somebody's still yelling for Rob in the distance.
It's my favorite character.
We cut over to the other group as the three of you are watching, and you see this conference continuing. Doesn't look like it's going to cease anytime soon. But we cut over as Ben, Rob, and Shannon round the corner quickly, and they're looking almost identical to what it appears in 1988 is the small brick house with the large flagpole out front. And Ben points, "That's it, that's Sarge's house."
Okay. Well, as they're walking, where do we want to start with them? Like, are we gonna say the whole truth, or are we just here to warn them, or how do you want to play this, Ben?
Sarge is tough but fair. And if Jerry were here, Jerry would be able to tell you that's because Sarge says that all the time. I'm tough but fair. If we tell him the truth, he doesn't like liars.
Okay, fair.
Did
I don't really like lying.
Sarge give you anything that could maybe help him know we're not lying?
He bought these clothes for me, and he opens up the jacket to show the t-shirt and jeans that he's wearing.
Well, the best thing we can do, I guess, is tell the truth.
I mean, you know Sarge pretty well, so maybe there's a story that he doesn't tell a lot of people that you can at least, I mean, especially if you haven't talked to him yet, and, you know, because you're not born technically yet, so.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
As you all get closer, the last of the sidewalk kind of ends here. In your day, the sidewalk continues all the way up to the mall, but there is no mall here. And so it kind of ends right at the corner where you would go up to his house. And so as you kind of round the corner and reveal the front porch, there is a man in his probably mid to late 40s, close haircut, white t-shirt. He's sitting in a wheelchair on the front porch, his left or his right leg out in front of him, in a huge bulky cast with like a halo restraint around it. You can see that his femur has been pinned. And as soon as you round the corner, his crystal clear blue eyes mark all of you. And he sits up in his chair and he says, "Rob, Shannon, Ben." Let's cut back to the other group.
What?
Let's cut back to the other group as you all are watching, and you don't see it coming. But the first punch from Rugen takes Carl Baker across the side of the face as his head rocks, and you see blood splatter out, and you think you hear a tooth hit the blacktop even from this distance. It drops Carl Baker to his right knee, but he launches back and throws an uppercut, taking Rugen back on his tiptoes. And that's when the man in black throws an elbow into the neck of Carl Baker, and you see him drop to his knees, grasping at his throat. This all takes place bang, bang, bang. But it happened quick and without any type of warning as far as you could see.
What the hell was that?
think Jerry's scar up the side of his head tingles a little bit, but he doesn't take time to answer. He charges into the fray.
I think
Mitch, George.
Mitch just looks at Butts.
Butts
What
doesn't
the-
even look back. He just follows.
Son of a...
He told him he was with Jerry.
And he just starts running after them.
For a moment, everybody, I would like you to turn off. It's the end of, if you can. It's incredibly catchy. But if you would, please go up and play the second song in our selection, "Fortunate Son" by Creedence Clearwater Revival. And with a slow motion feel, as George Butts and Jerry Baker burst from cover and begin to charge down towards soon to be Chief Rugen and Randall Flagg. Flagg turns and sees the charge and smiles a perfect white smile and steps back. Rugen does not see you coming. His back is to you as he stands over the wounded Carl Baker. Jerry, George, what do you do?
Unless we want to roll opposing rolls, I think Jerry's first, right? So
I think Jerry's just gonna yell, "Get the fuck off him!" and aim a kick for the Chief's head.
Then roll me a force.
Yep. It's a single success.
George, what do you do? As this is a bang bang of your own right now.
your force was that was a push, right?
Kick.
A kick. Yeah, he a flying clothesline, I guess. I don't know. He just wants to keep that momentum going and get him off of Carl.
Roll me a force.
Nope. 0 successes.
As the kick comes in and as the clothesline is intended, Mitch, since you are back, are you approaching Mitch? Is Mike?
Yeah, he ran after Butts.
Okay, so you have that brief moment where you thought about it, and so you view as Rugen turns and blocks with his forearm the kick that's coming in, just a defensive kind of duck and cover. And with that movement kind of carries himself out of George's attack range. But as he does, you see him lash out with his own arm as he fires a punch, just not even thinking this is a child, not even, or somebody much younger than he is. He doesn't react. This is the type of attack that would be retaliatory and an aggression level that is escalated much higher than what you would do in this situation. He's supposed to be a police officer. He's supposed to be and he fires a punch. I need a move from Jerry.
That is 0 successes.
Jerry, take the condition injured as you get launched off of your feet and back towards Mitch with a punch that rocks and cracks your lower jaw against your upper teeth. You see little white motes as they begin to dance over your vision like static on a TV screen. I need a move from George.
1 success.
George, you're able to get your own kind of defense up, your guard up, as another punch comes in from the same man as the much younger officer Rugen pulls back and kind of reloads his arm and fires it again at you. And this one just kind of skitters off the side of your head where you're defending. It hurts, but not enough to cause you a condition. There is laughter coming from the entity known as Randall Flagg. Mitch, I'm going to let you do something before we cut away.
Mitch is, if nothing else, trailer trash. He sees this happening. He knows the response he got last time to damaging the bike, and he runs in and, like, leaps over the falling Jerry and double foot kicks the bike over.
Roll me a force.
You got it.
This bike never did anything to anybody.
2 successes.
So as we cut away from this scene outside the police station, Randall Flagg is laughing. Carl Baker is catching some breath through the sundered and crushed windpipe. And Jerry Baker is being launched backwards as George Butts defends himself. But the one entity that can't defend itself is the Harley Davidson that gets smashed against the ground. And anybody that's ever seen a Harley drop, it sounds like a ton of bricks hitting the asphalt, especially when, and it happens in this case, the handlebar catches at just the right angle, acting as a kickstand for about a millisecond before it gives and bends upward. And so as it hits, there's that clank, and the handlebars go on one side at this point as it twists and shifts up at the Y bend. Back at Sarge's house. Rob, Shannon, Ben?
Huh.
And
That makes things a lot easier, right, guys? I think. Hopefully. Hey, Sarge, how's it going?
he waves you. Come here. Come here.
Yeah. Like, Shannon's gonna kind of pick up the pace to get over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you could.
we all kind of get done like a little trot. Like, come on, gang. Trot, as it were.
No skipping with holding hands, though. No.
Yeah, no.
Too much.
Just like a light trot.
You see that the Sarge has an open window right behind him, and he yells through the screen into the house, Yuriko! And within a moment, a very attractive woman comes out, Japanese descent, as she comes out and sees you all, and she looks at the Sarge, and he says, that's them, half of them anyway, as you all take to the porch.
Yeah.
So, how do you know us, Sarge?
Yuriko immediately goes inside, and she comes back out, and she has like several folding chairs, and she puts them down, and she pays particular attention to Shannon. Are you okay? Let me get drinks for everyone. As she goes back in, and you can hear the clinking of glasses and things like that. Very hectic, though. You can hear, maybe some aggressive clinking as things are getting thrown together. Sarge can't get up. His leg, caused by a gunshot wound, is bad. And he looks up and says, Jimmy told me about all of you.
What? Jimmy? Main Street Jimmy?
He looks at Shannon. Chris.
What? Wait, hold on. And Shannon's like trying to, the number sequence that happens in the shows is like going through like, what? What do you mean, Chris? Jimmy is Chris? From when?
I don't know what you all know, so I'll tell you what Jimmy told me.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Jimmy, I served with him in Korea. I was serving with him over in Nam. He saved my life. He got me out when this happened. He got hurt, though. He's down to VA. He told me when he was from. He told me y'all be coming. And it's crazy. I read Westerns. I don't read science fiction, but I believe him. And here you are.
How old is Jimmy right now? To you?
Jimmy, 38.
Well, this is trippy. Okay. He's alive right now, right?
I sure hope so. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Have you seen Ben's mom?
Mel, yeah. She's probably working the day down at the Chat and Chew.
Oh, our favorite place.
Ben would speak up at this time and say, "Where'd that cat come from?" And then he would say, "Can we go see my mom?" And Sarge would look at him. Yeah, Yoriko, could you get me the phone? And she's just coming out with a pitcher full of lemonade and a bunch of glasses. She sets it down, and you can see that she looks visibly, no need for a roll for an empathize here. She looks not distressed, but kind of a little frazzled, as if this was like a moment. It's almost like somebody was pregnant and somebody just said that their water broke. And that's the behavior that you're getting from Yuriko and the Sarge, that this is something they'd been waiting for quite some time. And now it's happened, and it's still a surprise. And she goes in and comes out with a phone a few beats later. But Sarge looks over at Rob and Shannon. Where are the rest of you? I was told there'd be 6.
They're taking care of another lead. They'll be meeting us here soon.
There's a lot of dangerous things here. Jimmy told me that you all need to get back up to a place called Castle Grayskull, and
that's where we were hoping to go.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
To get you all home.
Yes, that is the plan. But why did Jimmy say why we ended up here, or what we're supposed to do when we got here? Because we don't. I mean, we have some pieces of the puzzle now, I guess, but it feels like we were supposed to do something to help. I don't know.
Why would you believe him?
Who, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm talking. That was directed at Sarge. So, like, why
Oh.
would you believe this guy after he says all this crazy stuff?
He looks at Rob. We served together, son. You'd understand the nature of a man when you slop in the mud and you fight. And he saved my life. Least I could do was believe him.
How long ago did he tell you about all this?
About 7-8 months now.
You've been waiting for over half a year?
I was down in Bethesda for 6 months after being in country for 3 months before they could ship us out. We were both pretty banged up.
Do you know anything about Dr. Holton?
Works at the Loop. Prick.
Anything else?
I mean, he's unsavory.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
Have you ever met someone that thinks they know everything?
Yep. Know a few right now.
Never trust somebody like that.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say, Rob. I'm just still processing the whole Chris Jimmy thing, so
Maybe we can kind of relax here while we wait for the rest of the guys. Is that okay, Sarge?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'll call down for Mel and see if we can't get her to, you know.
We told them to meet us here, so we should stay here till they get
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I agree. Wait, does Melanie know about all of this?
I was told not to tell anybody, but I was told of the circumstances. And he looks at Ben.
Right. That's why I'm curious. I mean, is she even going to believe that that's her son?
Mel's a good girl. She's got a good heart. She's tough but fair.
Hmm. Shannon kind of like loses herself in thought about everything.
At this point, Yuriko comes out with the phone and puts it down, and he quickly, there's a list of numbers taped to the side of the phone, and he puts on his glasses and looks down and reads them off and punches them into the phone as he holds the receiver up to his head. Oh, hey, Mel, you got a minute? I got someone here who would really like to see you. He says his name is Ben. And from the other side of the phone, you can all hear, Ben? My Ben? Well, sort of. Is there any chance you could get off early? Yuriko can pick you up. And you hear on her end Mel yell out, "Hey!" And the phone is pulled away. And in the other end of the receiver, you hear, with whom am I speaking? And in the background, you hear, "Excuse me, you have to ask to use the phone." My name is Mary. I'd like to speak to one of the kids now. And the Sarge listens and offers the phone to Rob or Shannon. Rob, you recognize this voice.
Rob's gonna look at Shannon and take the phone. Okay. Hello?
Ooh, great news, Robbie. All we need is for Mitch to stay a little bit, but the rest of you can go home. I'll even tell you how.
Not without all of us. We're here for a reason. Who are you?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm just here to play, Robbie. How's that little piggy?
Rob's gonna look at his hand. It's at the market. What do you want from us?
Oh, nothing, Rob. You just let us have a Mitch for a little bit, and the rest of you can go wee, all the way home.
You know what? This little piggy is having none of this. And he hangs up the phone or clicks it. I don't know. It's 1960 something.
Yeah, and as you hang it up in the cradle, you hear from the receiver, "Ouch." Let's cut back to the fight and fire up Creed's Clearwater Revival again, everybody. So as the bike crashes to the ground, Officer Rugen turns and looks, Randall Flagg laughs even louder as he puts his hands, almost takes a knee as his hands go to his thighs as he laughs and rocks back and forth. Jerry, your bell's rung. George, you realize that you evaded something pretty dire here. Mitch, you are up. With that roll before, you're able to knock it down with a drop kick and kind of spring back to your feet. What do you all do?
I think Mitch, having done the drop kick, like lands on the ground, like, you know, you're supposed to. And I think with the double success, he like immediately rolls over onto his stomach and like hops up into some kind of football pose, and he's going to charge directly at the other bike and smash that to the ground as well.
Roll me a force.
Oh,
Jerry, George, what do you do? Jerry, you're going to be a little bit delayed, so you're going to go last. But I'll ask you both. What do you do?
2 successes.
Nice.
I just deflected a punch, right? I guess what I want to try to do is, if that punch is still extended, I want to try to like quickly like pull it and get him off his feet and get him off balance.
But I didn't see. Did we have any Michigans, by the way?
Sure did.
We have
can't
one.
Michigan me. I called it Michigan. You can't Michigan me.
I'm just asking. I didn't.
I'm unmissionable.
We've had one so far.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
All right.
Roll me a force, George.
Joke's on you. I don't need a Michigan. I roll zeros.
Self Michigan. Jerry, what do you do as you're kind of pulling yourself up off the ground? That staticky stars still swimming in your vision.
Yeah, I think Jerry will like push himself up off the ground and like lip split or something, and just kind of get his bearings, and then grab his dad's arm and try to pull him. Like, move, and just shout out to the other guys, Michigan.
I will take a force, or I will take a charm here. I leave it up to you.
Yeah, I think force with 3 successes.
You rip him up as he's still like rubbing at his jaw and his rubbing at his throat. And as you pull him up, you realize that he is much heavier than you remember him. Again, the drink he still has that frame, that build that's more akin to yours than it is to the alcoholic that you eventually know. And you pull him up and he takes to his feet. And with a 3, I will allow you to like start running off with him if that's what your intention is.
Yeah. I think Jerry we're at the police station. Look for like the nearest alley and try and pull him towards it while the other guys are distracting.
Okay. Yeah. And you're able to pull away and get moving. As you pull and start to run away, you see the other bike hit the ground, and the small kind of half windshield in the front shatters as it smashes to the ground. And Mitch is having just drop kicked 2 bikes. Mitch, you're able to pop back up or do whatever you would like as Randall Flagg stops laughing.
That's concerning. I think he just like wheels and like whacks butts. And then starts taking off after Jerry.
George, you tried to like redirect the arm, but all it basically did was he was already focused on his bike. And as you went to grab his arm, he just kind of wrenched it out of your grip. And then the second bike crashes to the ground. I need move rolls from everybody. This will be a combination of successes because Jerry already has a bit of a head start here.
I have 1.
I also have 1.
I have 2.
So with the littered corpses of these 2 Harleys on the ground, and with your quick lightning blitzkrieg and then retreat, you are able to get several steps before you hear the first pounding boots of pursuit. It seems that just Officer Rick Rugen is chasing you, and he's beginning to yell, "Stop! Stop, you little fuckers!" as he's charging after. Randall Flagg is just staring, and roll me an investigate just to see the three of you. Okay, Mitch and Jerry, as you kind of look backwards, you see that Flagg is not laughing, but he is this man in black with the black shoulder length hair. He's looking at you all, and there's a knowing recognition that seems to pass across his face as if he has just connected some dots. And you see him begin to move forward. As Rugen's running, he seems to be striding, but for some reason, he's moving just as fast as Rugen. You all duck into an alley. What is your course of action?
Run.
Yeah, I think
we gotta keep going.
try to lose the tail and meet back up with our friends.
Yeah. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like given the amount of sci-fi and movies that Mitch has seen, he just looks to everyone once we're in the alleyway and we gotta split up.
We know where we're meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go. And then as soon as like the alley ends, we scatter.
George hangs back half a second to give them a bit of a head start.
Okay. Then if that's the case, I would like just Mitch and Jerry to roll me move rolls, please.
1 success from Mitch.
Got one as well.
Okay. Let's do a roll off, my friends. Let me have it again.
I got 2.
I got 0.
Jerry, at the last minute, you kind of grab your dad and pull to the direction you're kind of skirting around to get over to Sarge's house. And just at that moment, both Rugen and Flagg round into the alley. They see George. And when they glance to the far end of the alley, they see Mitch, but you have disappeared from sight. And as Mitch disappears, you can see that they note which direction he goes in. George, you can see that they're coming. They've seen you. You're pretty sure they saw Mitch. What are you doing?
If there's enough agency, I'd like there to be a dumpster or something that I can use as an obstacle and try to use my Autobot strength to kind of manipulate that into place and cheese it out of here.
Absolutely. There is a dumpster here. These are more metal bins. These aren't something that comes and gets collected. This is a place where people put trash and then it's picked out in bags, but it's big. It'll block the alley. You can roll force. You can give me your pride, or you can do both.
I think I in this situation, I don't want to use my pride.
Okay.
So I'll go for force. 3 successes.
Mitch, Jerry, as you all are running from the alley, it sounds like that very alley is giving birth to a metal mountain. As you hear this, George, you grab the bin and bowl it down the alleyway as it flips end over end, it looking very much like these robots that you pounded in the junkyard for 6 to 7 months. And you just take the force out on them as you roll this large rectangle down, and it wedges up 2 feet off of one side and just it hits there in that exact area. And for a moment, you realize this is the same alley where you were covered in bugs. You don't know why you think that, but you get that visual. What do you do, George, as you've succeeded?
Time to split up. So he starts running the opposite way, obviously.
Okay. Let's go to Jerry. After as soon as you round several corners and you're almost to Sarge's house, Carl kind of pulls away from you, rubbing at his throat. What the hell are you about, kid?
What the hell are you about? Why did that cop just punch you?
What business is it of yours? Why would you get close to something like that?
Because people care about you, whether you realize
Bullshit.
it or not.
He spits it. Bullshit. What are you,
What the fuck
Peace
is wrong with
Corps?
you? I just saved your ass.
You didn't save shit. You just delayed it. Now I'll probably get it worse.
I hope you do.
Yeah, well, fuck you, kid. He starts to walk off.
Yeah. Yeah, go beat your wife.
He stops, turns around, and looks at you. Fuck you, kid. Starts
Jerry
walking
just
off.
throws his hands up and turns away.
You all, and this is Mitch, Jerry, and George, get to Sarge's house right when Rob slams the phone down. And Ben turns to Rob. What is it, man? What's going on? Was that my mom?
I don't know. It did this, and he shows his hand. They want Mitch.
Can't have Mitch, but what about my mom?
Sounded like they were in a pretty public place, so I think she'll be okay.
Doesn't stop him. She's so close, Rob.
I'll go with what was her name? Sorry, I just blanked.
Yuriko?
Yeah, Yuriko. I'll go with Yuriko and go get your mom. She was gonna go pick her up.
You see Sarge as he's trying to get up out of his wheelchair, but this halo he has around his leg. Everybody go ahead and cue up. It's the end of the world, as you know it. He has the halo cued around his leg. He tries to get up, and you immediately see him kind of grimace in pain. He's like, damn it. And from beside the house, you hear an engine fire up, and a 1966 Ford truck comes around the corner, and Yuriko's behind the wheel. Get in, she says to all of you.
Second.
Are we all there?
Ben runs to jump in the back.
Are we all there?
Yeah, we're all there now.
You all came up, yeah.
I'm gonna look over to Butts. If we can't let her drive.
We're here now.
Yeah, we'll be together. We'll make this work.
Okay.
It's not like she's gonna let one of us drive, let's be honest.
Hey, Yuriko, can I drive?
She raises an eyebrow, and Ben yells from the back, "Come on!"
What are you guys talking about? Mitch jumps in the truck.
Yeah, Rob's gonna get in. You're be careful, please. Go the speed limit.
She nods and smiles. Okay. George?
Oh, she said that. Okay.
No. Do you guys get in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought, I'll drive.
Yeah.
Sure. Fine. We'll see how that goes.
She's not letting you drive.
Damn. All right.
But as long as everybody gets into the truck, she'll start off. And you can see that Sarge is trying to negotiate himself into the house in his wheelchair. And she turns into the main drive, the main street that will take, as the crow flies, to the Chat and Chew. And as she begins to move, everybody roll investigate.
I see everything in the world, Greg.
I see nothing. I see nothing.
Mitch, it is definitely you. And then Shannon from Shotgun, you see a flash in the rear view mirror as it kind of gets twisted a bit. And Shannon, it's you that recognize more of this vehicle. But Mitch, you get a longer look at it as this 1969 Freightliner turns onto the road behind you. It is a red tractor trailer truck without a trailer. It is not a grav truck. It is a wheeled vehicle. And as it kind of pulls onto the street behind Yuriko, as she drives off in the Ford laden with all of you, it begins to pick up speed. And Rob, George, you hear the Sarge from 1988 yelling, "Don't let her drive." And that's where we'll end our session of Atari Twilight.
I knew it. I knew it.
God damn it, Greg. All right, well, we're not getting back to the 80s
Gosh
today.
darn it, Gregory.
Okay, well, fucking, well.
Well,
All right. I see what you're doing here. This was another episode of Atari Twilight 69. Had to happen. We are still trapped in the 60s. It's a rough time, guys. We're hoping to get back to you all in the 80s. But for now, let's go around, do our introductions so that we can shoot the after show, discuss whatever the hell just happened. Throw that up on Patreon for your enjoyment, and then get the hell out of here. If you guys want that after show, Patreon is the best way to support us and the only way to get access to that. So with that, let's go around and do our introductions. I think, Rob, Frags, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
What's up? My government name is Kindle. You can call me that if you wish. You can find me on the internet, probably here and on TikTok. Those are really the only places I hang out. And also, I just play video games and stuff. So, what's up? Not on Twitch. I just kind of play video games on my own. That's me. That's my about me section.
He plays NBA 2K. Just 2K. 2000.
I do sometimes.
Just 2000 though. It's the old one.
Yeah.
Like N64.
Just to absolutely. That one.
Mike, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
So I'm Mike, the anonymous rhinoceros, basically everywhere except for Twitter and Baloney Slap. But really, yeah, just Discord. Just follow the unMadeGaming Discord or join that, and that you'll see me chatting in the Atari Twilight channel.
Hell yeah. Bitters, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I am much like these boys. Mr. Bitters, I hate everything, and I don't do anything on the internet but play this awesome game and hang out on that Discord. So hit me up there.
Hell yes. Meta, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hello, Metamancer. You can find me on Twitter or in the Discord. Yeah, and I'm just playing games, doing TTRPG stuff.
Sweet. And last but not least, Greg, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Greg, I'm not on the internet except in the unMadeGaming Discord for the Atari Twilight Writers Room, our little section of the unMadeGaming Discord, where this wonderful community gets to talk about a lot of things, this game and just other fun stuff. Great place. If you haven't joined the Discord, I strongly recommend it across the various channels for all of the shows. A community fantastique. As for being here, I love it. I love all of these players and characters so very, very much. A shout out especially to Bitters tonight. Jerry was absolutely amazing. And everyone always does a fantastic job. I would like to say, though, that one of my favorite lines of the entire series was tonight when George says, we should go nuclear. That's exactly what I love it. I love everything about it. You all are great. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you, and you are handling it like the pros that you are. Back to you, Mike.
Hell freaking yes. As always, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is on our Patreon, link down below. As everyone has says, join the Discord, link for that also down below. We're going to get out of here. We're going to shoot the after show for our patrons. So from all of us to you guys, we will see you next week. Bye-bye.